Deep in the Land of Ooo, not every sword can slice through cosmic nightmares. Some blades can barely cut butter, while others have dismembered demon lords and shredded reality itself. Today, we're ranking Adventure Time's most notable swords, and by the end of it, we'll see which of Finn's blades are mathematical and which ones are just decorative wall hangers. Starting at the absolute bottom at 1% power is Fiona's pink crystal sword from Ice King's fanfiction universe. It looks cool, retracts like a lightsaber, and glows. But here's the catch. It's a trap weapon. The Ice Queen can turn it into a massive ice block that freezes the wielder's hands solid. A sword that immobilizes the owner is worse than no sword at all. Fiona salvaged the situation by using the ice block as a club. But that's desperation, not strategy. Counter? Don't accept mysterious swords from disguised villains. This blade earns 1% for being actively harmful to its wielder. Moving up slightly to 3% power, we have Jake's sword. Jake owns a dagger-like sword with a skull pommel and an eyeball guard. It appears in early seasons, gets threatened by tiny creatures trying to steal it, and then nothing. Jake never fights with it on screen. 0 combat wins. 0 enemy defeats. The most it accomplished was being waved around while Jake yelled, "Swords!" for laughs.
Sword! Yeah! Sword!
It doesn't curse you or backfire, so it ranks above the crystal sword, but a sword with no feats is just sharp decoration. 3% power. It exists, and that's about it. Now here's where things get interesting at 5% power. In Web Weirdos, a spider named Ed finds a mystical glowing flame sword left behind by a dead knight. Fire magic, glowing blades, dramatic presentation. Sounds dangerous, right? Wrong. Ed uses it as a failed marriage counseling prop. His wife Barb gets angry. Ed slices his own web in frustration, freeing Finn and Jake by accident. And then Barb beats him senseless. It cut webs and destroyed headphones with noise, but couldn't defend its wielder from a single angry spider. A flaming sword that can't win fights gets 5%. Good for roasting marshmallows, but useless in combat. Moving into the double digits at 11% power, we enter niche weapon territory. During the Stakes miniseries, Peppermint Butler arms Finn with a wooden stake sword designed specifically to kill vampires. In theory, one stab to the heart should turn vamps to dust. In practice, Finn never dusts a single vampire with it. He stabs the moon repeatedly for hours, even impales her, but she just heals and pulls it out. Other vampires fall to sunlight, or Marceline's intervention, but not Finn's stake. It's a special weapon that failed its specialty. Outside vampire hunting, it's just a pointy stick. 11% power. Useful in the right scenario, but the scenario never came. Right next to that failure, at 20% power, is something far more creative. Lemon Grab weaponized a tuning fork. His sound sword emits destructive sound waves when he screams into it.
I have to use my sound sword now!
Knocking people unconscious through pure sonic force. It shatters delicate objects, blew off Finn's hat, and even sheared Ice King's beard with a sonic boom. It's effective for crowd control and painful as hell, but it's non-lethal. It requires Lemon Grab's specific screech to function and struggles against sturdy or distant targets. Counter? Earplugs and distance. It's a niche weapon that dominates its niche. 20% power. You don't want to hear it coming. Now we're climbing into mid-tier territory at 39% power where swords actually start winning fights. Finn's second ever sword was the Root Sword, found on a train in Mystery Train. It has a twisted root handle and a double-edged blade. Finn used it throughout seasons 2 and 3, but how effective was it? Mediocre. In Belly of the Beast, Finn slashed a giant monster's foot and didn't even leave a scratch. The Root Sword mostly cuts plants, fitting for a sword made from roots. Its one confirmed kill is plant-based, stabbing Darren, the ancient sleeper's brain seed. It never broke, showing decent durability, but offensive power was limited to soft targets. 39% power, reliable backup, but never spectacular. Jumping up to the 50% power tier, we enter the realm of proven heroic blades. One of the weirdest weapons in Ooo is the Finn sword at 49%. A time paradox traps an alternate Finn's essence inside a glass sword. creating a blade with Finn's spirit and a tiny Finn face on the hilt. It's sharp and durable. In Dentist, it cuts through giant worms with ease. When Bandit Princess steals it, she goes on a killing spree, slaying a rich goblin, spiky guards, and beheading box prints. Those kills prove its lethality. Finn could never talk to the trapped soul for advice, but it's a very sharp sword. It just has no magical powers beyond housing a consciousness. It eventually shattered. 49% power, solid mid-tier, as good as the person wielding it. Moving up a bit to 55% power. We have a sword with one appearance but one legendary feat. In It Came from the Nightosphere, Finn pulls the Sword of the Dead from the ground in literal hell. Finn used it to slice off Hunson Abadir's tentacle arm, then slit open his neck pouch, releasing all the souls the Demon Lord had stolen. The sword defeated the ruler of the Nightosphere, an immortal demon king. Few weapons can claim that. It targeted his weak point perfectly, like stakes to vampires. We never see it again, so we can't measure its full potential, but demon slaying capability on that level? 55% power. One-hit wonder, but man, what a hit. Climbing up higher to 65% power, we reach Finn's original golden sword from seasons 1 to 2, known to fans as Scarlet. Ordinary-looking longsword, beat up with chips and scratches, red gem in the pommel. No magic, but highly effective. In Tree Trunks, Finn slays a wall of flesh, zombies, and a crystal eye serpent. It deflected magical energy blasts, and here's the insane part. In The Real You, Finn made it 4-dimensional to collide with a black hole's singularity, creating a second black hole to cancel the first. The sword was sacrificed to plug a black hole. It withstood being turned 4D and briefly containing a singularity. No other sword can claim that, but it broke, proving limits. 65% power, perfectly balanced for hero work, outclassed only by magic. Now we're entering the upper echelon at 83% power, where swords become one-man armies. Found in Dungeon Train, the lightning sword is shaped like a lightning bolt and shoots lightning as projectiles. The moment Finn gets it, his kill count explodes. He battles through the Endless Train dungeon for months of subjective time, obliterating dozens of enemies. There's a montage of Finn destroying bug-eyed ghouls and massive monsters that explode on the first hit. The train's boss? One-shotted with a thunderous strike. The boss literally shouts, "I'm dead," as it disintegrates. This sword racked up more kills in one adventure than most swords achieve in a lifetime. It's Thor's power in sword form. Why not higher? It's a dungeon drop, implying fragility. Finn left it behind to exit the loop. 83% power, body count champion, but we never saw it against demon lords. Just above that at 88% power is a sword that proves simplicity wins. A plain steel broadsword appears in Morituri te Salatamus. Later, after losing stronger swords, Finn keeps it. In Something Big, the Candy Kingdom faces Darren, the Ancient Sleeper, a colossal free rock golem. Finn drives the steel sword straight into Darren's head, hitting his brain seed, and then Darren's head explodes. The giant is slain. This sword enables Finn to one-shot an elemental giant that would have leveled kingdoms. Earlier, Finn used it to decapitate the Fight King and fight off ghosts. No fancy enchantment, just remarkably effective steel at the right moment. 88% power. Sometimes, simplicity plus opportunity wins. Now we're in legendary territory at 95% power, where only the most powerful blades reside. After losing the Grass Sword and Finn Sword, Finn adopted Rattleball's Blade, a thin high-tech retractable sword. In Rattleball's hands, it performed the Shadowless Thrust, a strike so fast, you explode before realizing you've been hit. Finn used it to slay the Grumbo in one clean hit, causing the beast to explode into goo. But here's the impressive feat. In Whispers, Sweet Pea picks up the sword and cleaves the far-moraled Lich's hand in two, vanquishing it completely. This sword destroyed the Lich, the ultimate undead evil. The only other things that killed the Lich were Billy's Gauntlet and the Power of Love. That's elite company. It eventually broke during Finn's battle with Fern, so it's not indestructible. 95% power, speed, precision, and lich slaying capability. Right behind the top spot at 98% power sits the Demon Blood Sword. Forged by Finn's father Joshua from the blood of Ki-Oth, an ancient demon, this blood-red blade is spoken of with reverence. Multiple magical advantages, it withstands and negates demonic magic, immune to dark energy blasts that turn other things to ash. It's extremely sharp. Finn sliced the dead one's head off in the astral plane and cleaved mirror doppelgangers easily. It's completely fireproof and takes no damage from lava. This sword has no elemental weakness. Finn and Jake note it never dulls. With it, Finn slays dragons, cut one in half with one swing, deals with monster hordes, and could fight almost any foe confidently. It even knocked out possessed Marceline. The only reason it's not number 1, it was destroyed. Ki-Oth came to reclaim his blood, forcing Finn to shatter it to banish the demon. Nothing in battle ever broke it, only intentional self-destruction. 98% power. If it had stayed intact, it might have claimed the top spot. And now we reach the ultimate blade at 105%. The definitive number 1. Finn bought the grass sword, the innocuous grass blade, from a shady wizard for just $3. It was cursed to bond with its owner, fusing to Finn as a living grass arm/weapon. Why is it the strongest? It can cut through literally anything. Even the show states it can cut through virtually anything. When the Fear Feaster said, "No mortal blade can harm me," the grass sword instantly cut him in half. In Escape from the Citadel, it sliced the Lich's undying hand clean off in one strike, neutralizing the immortal scourge. In the Comet, Finn was swallowed by Orgalorg, a cosmic entity. The grass curse awakened, transforming Finn's arm into a gigantic thorny vine that ripped out the Catalyst Comet's power from inside Orgalorg, defeating the god. This sword cuts through ghosts, elder demons, primordial monsters, literally everything. It also defends automatically, forming shields and restraining enemies faster than Finn can react. It boosted Finn's strength, expanding into massive tendrils that nearly stopped a spaceship mid-takeoff. The only downside? The curse had its own mind, eventually merging with the Finn sword to create Fern. But as a weapon, it's unequaled. It consistently slayed immortals, fear embodiments, the Lich, even space gods. 105% power. It breaks the scale entirely. From Fiona's backstabbing crystal to Finn's god-slaying grass curse, we've ranked every blade in the Land of Ooo. Think your favorite sword got snubbed? Drop a comment and defend your pick. Now, grab your mathematical blade, slice that like button in half, and subscribe so you don't miss more breakdowns.